Hammers up, everyone. Towley here. Finally, the last dungeon of the alpha has been released. The Theater of Pain 5 boss dungeon, max level 60. And I actually had the pleasure of doing this dungeon with Taliesin, from Taliesin and LvL, with the weekly reset. I mean, if you know their YouTube, you know who they are. I mean, come on, you know, MrGM and a few other good people from the alpha. Now, this dungeon, people thought it was going to be like a Violet Hold clone from the way it sounded, but it's actually not. You kind of fight like this first boss here in the arena, and then after you fight this first boss, then you go down into some crypt, and you pretty much have to prove your worth to the, you know, crazy maniacs of the arena that you are the champion of Maldraxxus, because Maldraxxus is all about military might and your worth, you know, and your strength, you know, in battle. So this is the first boss, which is called the Affront of Challengers Defeated. So pretty much it's 2 ads, a boss, which they hit like a truck, man. So you got the these dudes casting all their necrotic plague bolts, and then the boss itself does a fixate, and that fixate hurts, and I'm pretty sure I was just taking fixate damage to the face, and Taliesin is there shitting bricks trying to heal me through this. And this is just a tough encounter overall for any tank if you face tank it. I should not have face tanked it, but I did face tank it. That was a goddamn mistake. But yeah, I mean, just like I said with the Maldraxxus zone on my stream a lot, not really impressed by Maldraxxus, although Necrolords is looking really good for prop paladins. I just don't like the aesthetic because I've seen it so much in World of Warcraft, you know? I've seen so much of this, you know, Acaris, Nax 40, Eastern, Western Plague Lands, I guess, aesthetic everywhere. But the dungeon layout of stuff is pretty cool, so you can just pick whichever route you want to go. So we're going to go this route right here. We're going to speedy our way through. Now, Prop Paladin did get some changes, by the way. Judgment no longer generates Holy Power. So that's a big loss for Holy Power generation. But your Avenger Shield does give you 1 Holy Power per new mob you hit. So pretty much if you're pulling in a dungeon, you hit your Avenger Shield, it hits 5 targets, you get 5 Holy Power. So that gets you started pretty quick. And from there, Haste is probably going to take over. You probably want to spec in a Divine Purpose and Sanctified Wrath, because now Sanctified Wrath, Judgment gives you 2 Holy Power per Judgment, not just 1, only when Sanctified Wrath is active when you pop your wings. So the uptime on Shield of the Righteous is pretty much still there. It's not that big of a deal, but it was like, oh man, Blizzard, come on, man. They saw that they saw we were so overpowered. You know, we were probably the top tanks at this point going to Shadowlands, and I think we still are. I think Prop Paladin, Brewmaster, and Death Knight are up there for sure. Now here's the yeah, this Rancid guy is pretty bad with his ability. He pretty much, you know, pees and farts damage that disorients you. So don't stand in that. This first boss, pretty cool. It's a follow the tank, stand on somebody, and don't get hit by chains boss. This is Gore Chop here. So we tank Gore Chop right in the middle. I'm kind of like putting a marker on myself in case people want to follow me. So, you know, I'm pre-gaming my Shield of the Righteous there, popping my wings, throwing my Hammer of Fuck Your Face, putting down my Venthyr ability, which is Ashen Hollow. It's a pretty big AoE, if you see that. So that's my Covenant ability for being Revendreth and dedicating myself to the Venthyr Covenant. It's basically a Consecrate, and while you're standing in that Consecrate, Hammer of Wrath has Hammer of Wrath is always up, active, so you can hit Hammer of Wrath while you're standing in the Consecrate, so you still have to wait for the cooldown. So you can see we're just pretty much dodging hooks, and if you get hit by the hook, I believe you take damage and you get silenced for like a long time. I think it's like 15, 20 seconds. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. A lot of these bosses are dropping so quickly now in normal because we have Covenant abilities available. So Covenant abilities just added a whole nother layer of damage. And yeah, but the Venthyr ability is awesome, but it's on a 4-minute cooldown, which does not make it sexy for any kind of progression in either Mythic Plus, Arenas, Battlegrounds, and or raiding. So yeah, I mean, I wish Ashen Hollow had a lower cooldown, or if they were to change it, it would be awesome. If they can maybe, you know, the cooldown gets lowered every time you spend like a certain amount of Holy Power. Now, once again, I'm not really talking here. This is just a downloaded VOD from the stream that I'm talking over it. So if my voice on this video does not sync with the camera, it's just because it's this is me way later. So now for this next wing, we got to basically get through this gauntlet, and these guys cast a really nasty ability called Bind Soul. So you want to just kind of pull everything, go around the corner, and then just AoE everything down. Probably should have saved my Ashen Hollow. Now, I will say Ashen Hollow does do a lot of damage. Now, this is the coolest room of any of the bosses in the Theater of Pain. So once we get rid of this Soul Storm, he drops an orb. You have to take this orb and put it into one of the little pillars right there, left to right. If you put it on the left, you go left way. You put it on the right, you go right. So once you figure out what the right route is, you don't have to worry anymore about, you know, which way is the right way or the wrong way. Unless Blizzard makes it so that you have to, you know, unless Blizzard makes all the mobs alternate to get to the last boss. So if nothing changes, it'll just be like left, right, A, B, start, and you get to the boss. Here's another Portal Guardian, and we're going to grab another orb after he dies. We're going to take that, and we're going to put it, I think we said go right, because we always go left, I don't know, or go, yeah, I think we did left. Yeah, we go left. Yeah, left. Left is right. And now that my Ashen Hollow is up, I'm like, you know what? Let's test Taliesin's heals here. Let's see how good of a healer he is. So I just kind of pulled everything. I didn't actually pull everything. I skipped the mob to our left. And I was disappointed in myself. But yeah, Ashen Hollow is great for these big pulls. Because like I said, you see the ticking damage. It is insane. And that AoE stays on the ground for, I think, like 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds of Hammer of Wrath being available as long as you're standing in that Ashen Hollow style Consecrate. And you also get the effects of Consecrate when you stand in Ashen Hollow. So it's a great ability. I actually love it, but man, they just need to lower that cooldown because the damage is so good, but every 4 minutes, not so good. So I decided not to, you know, pull everything here. Now this next boss, man, let me tell you, it is funzo. All right. Is this the boss I'm thinking of? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, by the way, these bone maguses, yeah, they punch you off the side. They do an ability called Bone Spear, and if it hits you, you just get knocked off. I think Lazarus over there got what do kids say nowadays? He got yeeted off the side. So he just kind of waited around for him to come back because I think the boss is pretty much after this. But yeah, Theater of Pain, great bosses, great rooms, but the aesthetic and Maldraxxus, I just have not been impressed by it. Out of all the zones in Shadowlands, Maldraxxus is probably my least favorite looking zone. But the story, though, once you get to the story, dudes, the story is great, man. You get to experience Draka and Lady Vosh and Morgraine with his Fate Bringer. Everyone thought it was Ashbringer, but it's Fate Bringer. So here's Koltharok. Now, Koltharok here doesn't really do much. I know. I mean, I'll try to go through these bosses. Just died so quick because of our, you know, Covenant abilities finally being active in dungeons. So right now it's just basically tank and spank until he does an ability called "Let the Fear Consume You," and he just kind of talks. There is no escape for you. So you see those little hands on the ground. You can't stack on it. So now he's trying to draw your soul. Now once he draws your soul, after that, I don't know what happens. So he draws it, and it looks like you either stay. I think you get silenced for a long time and you take damage, but it doesn't seem like anything was happening here. Hopefully they'll be more specific on the mechanics. As you can see there, I think I think I know what's happening. Yeah, it looks like Taliesin's being followed by some sort of spirit right there that's on top of him. So I think after the debuff is over for the drawing of the soul, I think the soul follows you around, just hits you really hard. I think you have to run away from it. Like I said, sometimes we've been killing these bosses so fast with our Covenant abilities. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll notice we weren't allowed to use Covenant abilities, but now they actually moved that exclusive private event server for beta that we were playing on to the alpha, which is up right now. So we were doing this, I believe, maybe a couple hours before our private servers shut down. But okay, so my favorite area of the Theater of Pain is this one. It's the arena, and I'm just gonna draw you a picture of what you're about to witness, my friends. Okay, so you're gonna fight this mighty gladiator, Zav the Unfallen. Now, his abilities are pretty standard. He does like a smash down the middle. He does cleaves around the room you have to dodge. He puts up a banner that makes him do more damage. But in the middle of the fight, he literally throws 2 of your DPS into a arena to PvP each other. And the winner of that PvP, I guess, duel will get, I believe, 25 or I think it's 25% increased damage done buff, while the loser gets a 10% decreased damage buff. Now, this is going to play pretty crazily in Mythic Plus because depending on who goes down, you have to determine quick, okay, the other person should just not attack and die quickly so that you so that the proper person with more DPS in your group gets the buff. Now, if both competitors do not finish the duel in time, there is a timer, then both get a debuff in which you do 50% less damage. I think it's one of the most unique bosses I have seen in a long time in World of Warcraft, and I can't wait to get this done on a higher level. I want to see how this plays out like on Mythic, plus 10, 15, Mythic 0, because the abilities always change. So we're just going to clear this trash here, all these ossified conscripts. The trash wasn't too bad in this dungeon. Out of all the level 60 dungeons, this trash, the trash in here was pretty much the easiest to deal with. Now, on your way to the boss, you're going to fight all these little mini rares, like this Advent Nevermore, and they have their own abilities. So and trust me when I tell you, when this sucker hits Fortified in Mythic Plus, you got to be careful because, you know, they were pretty beefy just on normal mode. I can imagine them on Mythic. And I think we're ready to fight here. Yeah, we're trying to figure out where we're going. I think I'm going the right way. Nope. Yep. There it is. But yeah, man, beta's next week. Can't wait for some of you guys out there to get some invites. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it, man. The Covenants, I hope. And I heard there's tons of invites going out. And no, I do not have beta keys, and we won't have beta keys for about a month. Blizzard wants to make sure that they do their own personal invites and that people actually get into the beta rather than having beta keys sold on eBay. So here we go. I'm getting ready. I think at this point, I'm explaining to the stream what's about to happen because it's just so cool. But here we go. Zav the Unfallen. I'm prepping up my my Blessed Hammers, and we're pulling. And we're probably going to put down Ashen Hollow pretty soon. Maybe not. No Ashen Hollow. Yeah, maybe I just forgot to do it. So there's a brutal combo. Kind of like the combo from King's Rest last boss. So here we go, the Oppressive Banner. You kind of want to get that down super quick. You can see that the boss is kind of like enraged, so you want to make sure he doesn't, get that off. So there's a massive cleave. He goes one way, he'll go another way. Just dodge. Very easy dodge fight. And then he does like a big frontal. He does a combo of things. Sometimes he doesn't even do this. Now he's going to yell out, "Fight for glory." As you can see, he just, with chains, basically tosses both Demon Hunters into the arena, and now they are dueling. I'm not sure if they know what's going on, but there they are fighting each other. And I'm trying to jump down. I said to myself, man, can I just jump down and join in, for the fun? And obviously I couldn't. So I didn't want to reset the boss either. So there's the Oppressive Banner. And I think at this point, I think you have to get into a certain amount of health. Let me see. I'm looking at, oh, that's not good. Yeah, looks like Nathria gets defeated, but they all get their health back. They all come back upstairs to full health. You can see glorified, increased damage, and decreased damage from losing. So Nathria wins the battle. Cainrellis loses, and Nathria gets to top the meters, get those parses, and down goes Zav the Unfallen. Let's see, loot for me? No, Pit Fighter's wrist guards with some avoidance, even though I already have 160 gear from pre-made. Anyway, so now we're off to the last boss. So we've proven ourselves. The Grandmaster Vol, he's yelling, "Incredible! Our challengers have conquered the trials and advanced to the final round." So now we face Mordritha, which we hear about Mordritha throughout the quest lines themselves. So she is the Empress. She is like the champion of Maldraxxus, the Endless Empress, as they say, and we just have to beat her. Now, this fight is pretty crazy. She does a really nasty frontal, or I guess we would call it a tank buster, which you just got to keep up active mitigation for it. So here I am. I'm waiting until so she has a phase where she summons a portal. The portal will pull us all in and then spawn adds. So the circles under our feet will spawn the adds, and we have to AoE them down. Now, they cast some death bolts, and they hurt. So there it is, Dark Devastation. That you want to just get out of the way. It's kind of wonky though. It kind of like goes around in a circle and then it just kind of snaps at somebody. So there's the grasp. We're all kind of around each other. I put down my Ashen Hollow and bam, super damage. Look at all that damage popping off right now. Look at all that damage, like 1500, 1500, 1500. So they go down pretty quick between Ashen Hollow and everyone else's AoE, especially having 2 Demon Hunters in your group. And that's the encounter. That's pretty much it. Reaping Scythe, that's the ability, as you can see, even with active mitigation up. That kind of took away a chunk of my health. So I'm sure I'm tyrannical. I'm not gonna have a lot of fun. So the here we go again with the grasp. Now I'm not sure. That's a cool animation though. The hands coming to kill you. I just took that one to the face and survived pretty well. But I think I had the Ancient of the Guardian Kings up for that, so it was all good. And there you go. The Empress is dead. We are the champions. We win. That, folks, is the Theater of Pain. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm posting a lot of videos. I'm actually having fun posting all these videos, so please make sure you subscribe and you follow. Leave a comment, man. Just talk to me. Talk to me, man. I'll respond to some of y'all, man. Look, I'm in a pandemic, bros. All right? I'm, like, fucking bored. You know, I need to be like old school TGN Tally, where I was literally responding to everybody who posted a comment. And that was probably because everyone was posting mean things and then I reposted mean things. But I think in the last 10 years, I've changed quite a bit. So if you guys need any advice, you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them. I always have my phone on me, so I get notifications whenever I get comments. And shout out to MMO Champion who posted my legendary UI video. But yeah, Taliesin, MrGM and company. Got some fucking work done, man. Got some work done. Now, I tried to leave the dungeon, and I believe, what happened here? I think I tried to log out, and it lags. This always happens for some reason. Like, you log out of the alpha, and it just hangs. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to show you guys my desktop. Because I just got, if you guys have ever used Wallpaper Engine, okay? Wallpaper Engine has amazing animated desktops, and I think we found the best one that just released yesterday, or a couple days ago after the news with screenshots of new Shadowlands stuff. I don't think I realized that I'm pretty much done here. I tried to Alt F4, that doesn't work. And we close the program, and I'm like, you know what? Check this out, fam. Boom. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Bolvar!